We say it again and again, and today we get to remember why. Don't chase bad guys. Hi everyone, this is John with today's active self-protection lesson out of Pakistan. Shows us an armed robbery here that's going to remind us of some important lessons. The chief among them, never chase a fleeing bad guy because of the danger that poses to your health, but also about transitional spaces and about compliance, especially in the face of multiple attackers. Just another day at the shop until 3 guys on one little enduro motorcycle come in, one with an AK, and we have at least a couple of firearms here and at least one knife, as these guys are going to come in and rob this store. And the employees of the store are like, whoa man, I don't want any problems. I don't blame them at all with, a guy with an AK in there that's going to kill you in a big hurry. So they're just completely compliant. They're like, hey man, I don't want any problems, while these guys are going to run through all their stuff. Compliance is always an option in an armed robbery, and these guys do it okay, and they're like, hey man, I don't have anything to give you, as these guys continue to rummage through stuff. Now, you can see I've sped this up 3 times, but a real armed robbery can take quite a while, and so that danger zone you can stay in for an awful long time. Now, as they finally decide they're gonna leave, you see the guy that was sitting down, he's gonna decide to follow out after these guys. So they're gonna kind of mosey their way back to their moto. They've got whatever they wanted. They got as much stuff out of these guys as they can. And so they're going to run off with their guns held high and all that stuff. Now, our owner's going to come out after him and point to him and go, hey man, that's the problem. And unfortunately, what's going to happen because of that, they're going to shoot back at him. And you see they shot him right in the low back there. And now he's badly injured. Now everybody else is going to come and go, oh no, what are we going to do here? Now they're not worried about a robbery. They're worried about somebody's life. Let's go back and learn some lessons on this one. As always, there's 8 lessons on our website. First one is that transitional space, man. When you're in those transitional spaces, you got a store like this, you got to recognize attacks can happen in a hurry, and you got to respond, not just react. So these guys do, they're going to respond with compliance. They're going to be like, hey man, I don't want any problems. I don't want to have any issues with you. And so these guys come in and like, whoa man, I don't want to have any problems. And against an armed robbery, guys, compliance is an option, no matter what you want to say. I know a lot of us carry firearms. You think, well, I'd fight them no matter what. Well, if you do choose to fight them, you want to wait for your opportunity for a counter ambush. This was one of those opportunities right here. You see, nobody's paying attention to any of the victims. When they're not paying attention to you, you can launch a counter ambush if you have a force multiplier of your own that's at least equal to theirs. You got a firearm on you or something like that. Then by all means, you can launch a counter ambush as well. If you didn't, hey, just give them the stuff and hope for the best. There's really not any other options here, especially because there's multiple guys with firearms, including somebody who's got a rifle, and that really makes things pretty significantly bad. Now, as these guys are just deciding, they're like, oh, okay, we're gonna keep after this, and they go. This is why I tell you, don't follow people outside. So once they decide we've got what we want and we're going, folks, let them go. Don't put yourself in continual danger to hopefully get your stuff back. Hopefully somebody else is going to stop them. And you see them, they're all riding off. There's multiple guns here. Just let them go. Let the security footage do what it's supposed to do. Because he follows them out there, he continues to stay in the danger zone. And that's the big issue here. He stayed in the danger zone when he didn't have to. Now that shot in the back there, that's right next to his kidney. That could be doing incredible internal damage to him. I don't know if he got shot with a pistol or with the rifle there. I'm not sure. But he is pretty badly injured. Now you got to talk about your first aid skills and your ability to stop that bleeding in his trunk right now. Get him to the hospital and get some aid on him. So learn the lessons here that if you're going to comply, comply. Don't pursue fleeing bad guys, and have your first aid skills on par at all times to cover your ass.